Whew, you just finished the interview. It's all over, all that preparation, all that work that went into it. It's finally done. These are the final seconds of the interview. What do you do? Well, first off, you want to thank your recruiter or the interviewer, and you want to sound excited. Hopefully this won't be hard. You're actually excited about the job. But you made a good first impression when you walked into the door, and you also want to end on a good impression at the end too. Be very positive, be very energetic, and thank them for their time. If you're able to, you can also ask for specific feedback on your interview performance. Usually they won't say, but that never hurts to ask either. And you also want to ask them when you should expect to hear back from them, so that you have some sort of a timeline of when the decision is going to be made, whether to give you the job or to do another interview. Now, at the end of the interview, I like to prepare something called a closing statement. Most people get intimidated by interviews, and especially technical ones. However, the first and last impression are what most interviewers remember. So at the end of the interview, no matter how well the interview has gone, whether you think you're not going to get the job or whether you aced it, you want to conclude with something that touches on all of these points. That is, you want to make a statement that doesn't use the word I, so you don't keep talking about yourself. You want to talk about the interviewer. You want to express how you're the ideal candidate, the best candidate for the job, but doing so without bragging. So what does that mean? Here's an example of what I would say if it was the end of the interview, and I want to essentially end off the interview on a good note. Thank you for your time. I'm sure you have lots of candidates to see, but I want to say one last thing. There are no shortages of developers for you to interview. However, there is a shortage of good, talented, egoless developers with ambition to learn. It's not the ones that are unable to admit that they are wrong. The best developers aren't the ones that know the language inside and out, at the expense of having blinders. It is not the ones who are unable to admit they are wrong. I am not the most experienced developer that you may interview today. But the one thing that you can guarantee is that there is nobody that you will interview that will work as hard to develop his or her skill every day, play nicely with all the other developers at the company, and isn't so narrow-minded in problem solving that he or she isn't willing to try new and novel ideas. When you hire me, you will rest assured that you won't have to micromanage me. You don't have to extinguish fires. And in 1 year, I'll be one of your most valuable employees. I can guarantee that. I'm at a point in my career where I want to be surrounded by a team that I can grow with and be surrounded by smart people like yourself. And I've chosen this company specific for that reason. And you've probably had similar experiences in your career where one company allowed you to really have an impact and propel your career. I'm at this stage now, and I hope to be part of the team with you. So thank you for your time, and I hope to hear back soon from you. All right, that was it. Now, this may sound a little intense, but who would you hire? A developer that did pretty well at an interview and blends in well with all the other interviews that the interviewer has done? Or the developer who wanted it more than any others and really showed how much they want the job? Again, this depends on your personality, but the idea is that you want to finish the interview strong. And after the interview, you want to write perhaps an email afterwards to the people that interviewed you. You can thank them. If during the interview there are technical challenges that you weren't able to answer, you can actually reply to them that you have looked at the problem and you have now found a solution. And this is something that you can probably do easily by Googling. But this shows that even if you didn't solve the specific problem that they had, you have taken the time to actually solve it now. And in this thank you email, you just don't want to sound like a robot. Just nice and short, thank them for the time, show that you're interested in the position, and that you look forward to the next step. Now, if for some reason you haven't heard back by the time the deadline has passed, just message them again and let them know that you're waiting for a reply and will need to make a decision soon since you're interviewing at other companies. But wanted to make sure that you don't make a decision without knowing the situation at this company, since you really enjoyed the interview process here. And this is a bit of a psychological technique that we're going to talk about in the negotiation and offer section. But that's a nice thing to say in case you're just waiting around for an offer. Because remember, the more time you wait, the more people they're going to interview. So think about that. All right, now it's just a waiting game. Good job on the interview, and hopefully everything went well. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.